Hello and welcome to my garden and the dinosaurs who live there. I've split my August garden tour into chunks, and this is the second chunk where I'm going to focus on the patio and the surrounding areas to let you see how my garden is doing this August. So it's the 29th of August, it's a lovely morning, and I thought it was an ideal time to give you a little look round. This is a patio area. I think I'll go anti-clockwise just for a little change. So we have a couple of hanging baskets here. These have got begonias in, this lovely lemony peachy one, and then there's a red one at the back there. And they're beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Then here we have some calendula going over and all a bit dying back now, so that's going to come out. And then we've got some rudbeckia. There's two varieties of rudbeckia that I bought this year, but they won't flower until next year. That one's getting a bit chewed actually, but a couple of pots of them there, and hopefully they'll come back next year and give me lots of lovely flowers for cutting. And we have quite a number of dahlias kicking about here. So here's one that I'm growing for the first time this year. It's looking really striking actually. Can I find its name? Oh, a label. This is called Saint Saens. That's S-A-E-N-S. Saint Saens, I think is it's pronounced. And it's beautiful, isn't it? It's not even fully open yet. And I'll show you some more dahlias shortly. But here, and I've just pulled it away just so we can get into the other things. Here is one of the Brussels sprouts that I am growing this year in pots. I've never grown Brussels sprouts before. I don't have the bed space, so I have put 4 or 5 of them in pots. And here's one of them. It's getting a bit chewed, but if you look in there, you can see I'm getting my baby sprouts happening. I don't really know what to do with this. Other than make sure it's watered, maybe give it a feed now and again, maybe just a sort of bloodfish and bone or something, and just let it grow and try and stop the pests eating it. So that's one of them. That's doing not bad, but this one, because it's I think at the back and next door to other plants that are bumping into it, look what's happened to this one. The slugs have got it and they're just eating it. So I think this one's probably a goner. But I suppose if the slugs are eating that, they might leave everything else alone. And I'll just keep checking this for slugs at night. But that one, yeah, I don't think that one's going to survive, unfortunately. This was sweet peas, and I'm just letting this now go to seed. This was Hilda's mix, and it was rather nice. Then we've got more dahlias. That one hasn't started its flowers yet. Just looking down to see if I can find a label. Cannot find a label. This was one from last year, and of course I've lost the label. Similarly, this one, not flowered quite yet. And then we have these guys. These are new this year, and I'll need to dig down to try and find a label. But look at that. Aren't they amazing? Just beautiful, beautiful colours. And down here, I think these are the two-tone ones, aren't they? What are they called? Bicolour or tricolour, actually. I think these ones are called. They're not really getting enough light there because this guy's infringing on it. And then at the back we've got, well, we've actually got this, which is Bishop's Children, which grew from seed last year. And then this here, I've got one of these indoors, I'm cutting these as I go. It's a sort of burgundy. It's a burgundy flower, and I've got lots of these flowers to come. So yeah, the dahlias are quite happy, thank you very much. And then I've got carrots, and the carrots is a mixed bag at the minute. This is Eskimo in a small pot. That was to stop the squirrels digging, and that's looking fine. Autumn King. Now let's see if this has got the problem that I'm having. Let's just move that dahlia out of the way. Autumn King is okay. There's not that many. I think some of them got eaten. And here's another Eskimo. Again, not huge numbers germinated, but let's get rid of that. But I hope I might get the odd little sweet carrot, would be nice. But over here then, I think it is, here is, what's this called? Ruby Prince. And what I'm getting with some of my carrots is the foliage is getting eaten, so I'm left with just the stalk. Is that slugs that do that? That one actually, I think maybe I chucked the last one that did that. It was really disappointing because I had loads of carrots coming and then just all the ferny bits got eaten. Like, most of these are okay, but is it slugs that would do that? Just take the feathery foliage and leave the stalk? Very annoying. Next door here we've got a sunflower that's just gone over. Hopefully I'll be able to dry the heads though and give the seeds to the chickens. And then we have some pak choi. That is looking a bit worse for wear, but mostly okay, and it's mostly not eaten, which is great. Just a little munch there. Yeah, and here's another. Here we go. Look, this is what I mean. Look at that. It's been eaten. Eaten. Really annoying. And you know, that was going to be a nice sized carrot. Look at that. I don't see slug trails. Is it slugs that do that, or is there a carrot? Is that carrot fly? No, carrot fly eats the roots, doesn't it? Help! And there's another one that's annihilated as well. So these two are just done. So very annoyed, very, very annoyed. We've got another little Eskimo up here. It's again a smaller pot, but you know, if I can get these two carrots, I can't believe it. I had about 3 pots of carrots and they've just been annihilated in the way that I showed you there. So in half. So I'm on the table now, and we've got some beetroot. This is Wodan, taking its time. Some marigolds, some begonia, and these are in 2 smaller pots and not big enough to grow up. This is Blue Lake green beans. Oh, there we go, look. Ta-da. So we're getting some, and I'll eat them nice and young. That sounds terrible. I'll eat them nice and young. And so I'll get a few of this. I've got a bigger plant with of the same variety. This was just a spare that I'd sort of plonked in here. Move that out of the way. Little sunflower that's finished. Then we've got some muley. Oh yeah, this is like a radish. It's a muley, so it's a sort of long white one. So we'll see. It's in a pot, but it's quite a deep pot. So we'll see if I manage to get some muley there. And then just some bits and bobs in the corner there. We'll ignore for now. Another sunflower that's finished. Hello in there. So that was quite nice while it lasted. And then potatoes. So I got a reasonable harvest, particularly the last harvest that I did, which was Picasso main crop potatoes. And so I've got a stash of potatoes, but I thought I'm going to try and grow some potatoes for the winter time. I tried last year and blight got them all, so I never got a harvest at all. But this year I have sown several varieties in various locations around the garden in the vain hope that I might get some potatoes because, you know, you get a bit more space in the autumn time, so why the heck not? So to that end, here in this part of the garden I've got a couple of pots. That's Yukon Gold in there, so there's nothing to see, it's just ground, earth. That's Yukon Gold. And this is Mr. Little's Yetum Gypsy. These are heritage potatoes and they were bought as eating potatoes, so they're not seed potatoes. But I thought, let's have a go. So I've got 3 in there and 3 in there, and we'll see if we manage to grow those. And I've got another heritage variety here. And this is called Violetta. And as you can imagine, it is violet, and it's actually violet all the way through. So I'm hoping that we might get some Violetta potatoes as well. Oh, there's a butterfly. It is not a cabbage white, which is nice. Right, let's just go over there and look at those 2 beds since they're bordering on the patio area. And I'll tell you what's round there. So a little wander through the woodland bit. Dum-de-dum. Right, so this did have celery in, and I harvested it. Really excited, loved the celery, it was really successful, so I'm definitely going to grow it next year. And we've got some turnip, golden ball, that I put in there, so I hope we might get some golden ball turnip. Calendula starting to come to the end, so it's getting a bit powdery mildewy, so we'll get that cut out. Some more calendula there that I was very late with, so I don't imagine it's going to do anything, but we'll see. Here is Chinese cabbage, and guess what? It's getting annihilated by slugs. Boo! Boo, 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 boo. So yeah, this is going to get fed to the quail and the chickens. Here we have another sort of failure. I'd ordered Shooting Star, I think it is, courgettes from, I don't know, one of the online nurseries, and I didn't get them until, I don't know, in middle of July or something. It was outrageous. So I plonked them in here and I thought I would grow them up, but I'm not going to get anything. I'm just going to take them out. There's no point. I'm never going to get anything. Never going to get anything in these. So I'm just going to rip them out, and I've got some leek in here, and this was leek that I bought. And what kind of leek is it? It's called Cairngorm. And so the courgettes are in the way anyway, so I'll just whip those courgettes out, and we'll leave this bed for the leeks. And if I just turn around, we've got some kale. Took a while. We've got some kale there, still growing well. And then I have set up a little veg cage for some of my cabbage. Now, there's one there, you probably can't see it, there's one there that is getting eaten. Buggeration. Oh. So, and there's another at the back there. I've got a slug trap in, a beer trap in there to try and stop the slugs. Is that slug damage, or has a little caterpillar got in there? I'm going to have a look. But otherwise they look quite happy in there, and I'm hoping that I'll get some cabbages and they won't get eaten. I'm not doing very well on the pest front. And then here we have something else that's getting eaten. Sort of another Chinese vegetable. I can't quite remember what that one is. But it's getting eaten, so that will get given to the quail. And another beautiful begonia there. And then we've got my leeks here that I grew earlier in the year. These are called Elephant. And yeah, still plenty of growing to happen there. And there's a little pot of them at the other side. So, there's a little panoramic view, or a pan round the patio area. So I hope you enjoyed that second tour of the patio area in the garden for this August garden tour series. If you have, please give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't already watched the first tour, which was the decking outside the house, please take a look at the video that I'll post at the end of this one a link so that you can go to see that one, and keep your eyes open because I'm going to post another video in the garden tour series to show you the rest of the garden. So thanks so much for watching. I hope I haven't droned on too long. And yeah, give me any comments you have about what you've seen. I love to see your comments, and I'll always respond to them. But for now, I'll say bye bye.